So my name is Steve Bertman. I'm a professor of chemistry at Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo. I've been involved in Profit from the very beginning back in 1997. I've been interested in how nature works ever since I was a kid. Sometimes I wake up and I say, I can't believe that I get paid to do this. So, some days I think, why am I doing this? But most of the time I'm just really excited to be out in the field and studying how this just nature, the wonder of nature, the complexity and the intricate interactions between different organisms. It's a fascinating world we live in. So Profit was formed back in 1997 in an effort to bring atmospheric chemists together with biologists so that we can study whole ecosystems. So recognizing that the atmosphere is part of every ecosystem and that all plants and animals exchange gases with the atmosphere. So plants and animals can affect the atmosphere, and the atmosphere can affect the health and vitality of plants and animals. So the background science, the fundamental science that we're trying to study at Profit is the science behind, or the chemistry behind, the formation of photochemical smog. When you have ozone alert days in Detroit, for instance, that's largely driven by how much ozone is in the air. And ozone is the primary component of photochemical smog. So what we're trying to study is the chemistry that produces ozone. Ozone is not a direct pollutant. Ozone doesn't come out of your tailpipe, but it forms after all of those pollutants have had a chance to sit in the air and get shined on by the sun. So photo for the sun, chemical is a chemical reaction. So these are reactions initiated by the sun that produce ozone. And ozone, once it's formed, can wreak lots of havoc in cells, whether they're plant cells or animal cells, like human cells. So it's a very elevated ozone is a huge human health issue, but it's also a huge economic issue in the sense that it affects the ability of plants to grow. So it can reduce crop growth, crop formation, crop yields. It reduces the ability of forests to grow and sequester carbon dioxide, and it's very complex. The chemistry is very complex. So we have very sensitive, complex instrumentation to try to measure different parts of ozone formation. So we measure ozone, but we also measure all of these other pollutants simultaneously to try and understand how ozone is formed, what controls its formation, how we can manage our economic activities so as to manage or minimize ozone formation. Attached to the side of the tower is a 3-inch diameter glass pipe that goes 33 meters above the surface of the forest. And we have a very strong pump that pulls air through that 3-inch glass pipe at about a linear velocity of about 100 miles an hour. So air stays in this 33-meter glass pipe for 2 or 3 seconds only. And then we sample off of that air inside the lab, and we pull it into an ozone instrument that measures the absorption of ozone. The more ozone there is, the more absorption there is, and so we measure the absorption, and we can convert that into a concentration of ozone.